Memorial Stadium here in Champaign, Illinois. We are getting ready for the Class 3A State Championship. Two undefeated teams, the Byron Tigers 13-0, taking on the St. Joseph-Ogden Spartans. They're 13-0 as well. Hello, everybody. I'm Eric Collins, joined by former Chicago Bear Al Harris. And Al, this matchup is a classic battle of good versus evil, offense versus defense. That offense of the Byron Tigers versus the St. Joseph-Ogden defense. They got a tough one.
I tell you what, Byron has an awesome offense. 48 points a game. That's ridiculous scoring in high school. And they go against a defense at St. Joe that averaged 16 points in the first half all year. They only let a team score 16 points, so something has to give today.
Now let's get into the specifics. Let's start with Byron. They are led by one of their all-staters, Sean Considine, one of the best runners in the state.
Oh, is he? This guy, every time he gets his hand on the ball, he averages double digits in average. Look at that, 11.4 yards per carry, carrying the ball, and he averages a crazy 29 yards per catch for a running back.
Now, he's the scat in the backfield, but they also have some power back there as well. Mark Cotter, he's got equally impressive numbers.
And Mark Cotter, not only does he have 20 touchdowns, but he's a great defender as well. He's an all-stater as a defender. He had 22 sacks. So he's going to make an impact on both sides of football.
Now, we talked about the defense of St. Joe's Ogden. They also play a little bit of offense as well. They got one of the better offenses in the state. To go with that defense, they are led offensively by their tailback, Brian Royce.
Oh, Brian Royce is going to be a great treat to watch. This guy has extreme quickness. He has great feet. He's going to make defenders look ridiculous trying to tackle him today. He's going to be a treat to watch in the open field.
And Brian Royce, his best friend, is probably the biggest lineman in Class 3A. A guy by the name of Jordan Lawhead. You're going to get familiar with this guy.
Look at that monstrous guy, 330 pounds. This guy is a Division I player. He's going to move people off the ball, and Mr. Royce is not going to have any problem hiding behind that massive frame.
And Al Harris, former Chicago Bear, you wanted it, you're getting it. We're starting to get that bear weather as the night falls down here in Champaign. It's getting colder and colder and colder.
It's getting colder and colder here, but it's going to be hot on that field today. We got two great teams to watch.
And to see just how hot it is on that field, let's go to our guy in the sidelines, the hardest working man in town, Mitch Robinson. What do you got, Mitch?
Well, you know, Eric, I started with a leather jacket, then I changed to this winter coat that my wife bought me, and now I've added the gloves. By the end of the thing, I'll be totally covered up. Tonight, Everett Stein's 60th birthday. The head coach for Byron, he'd like a big present after this one. Of course, St. Joe's will try to stop him. Right now, it's time to go up to PA announcer Jeff Brisson for tonight's starting lineups.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here are the starting lineups for tonight's Class 3A State Championship game. First, the defense for Byron High School. At left end, number 33, Paul Sloan. At left tackle, number 76, Mark Meyer. At right tackle, number 26, Patrick Hughes. At right end, number 70, Lucas Wedmore. At safety, number 15, Jeff Boyer. At safety, number 18, Sean Considine. At cornerback, number 20, Dallas Rassi. At cornerback, number 41, Matt Moline. At middle linebacker, number 62, Matt Coley. At outside linebacker, number 28, Mark Cotter. And at outside linebacker, number 45, Robert Irving. The Tigers are coached by Everett Stein. And now the starting offense for St. Joseph-Ogden. At left tackle, number 55, Mason Bogus. At left guard, number 57, Kyle Wolf. At center, number 63, Kevin Bewley. At right guard, number 70, Michael Walzuski. At right tackle, number 75, Jordan Lawhead. At right end, number 85, Matt Walsh. At quarterback, number 9, Matt McKinney. At halfback, number 25, Brian Royce. At flanker, number 1, Brady Smith. At fullback, number 40, Jared Whited. And a split end, number 81, Rob DeRoshi. The Spartans are coached by Dick Duvall.
So now let's take a look at how these two teams got here to Memorial Stadium here in Champaign. First, we'll look at the Byron Tigers, the visiting club tonight, 13-0. They are putting some serious points on the board. 62-13, 60-8, 57-15, and 49-13. Yeah, they can run it up. As for St. Joseph-Ogden, the defense we talked about, strong. Their road, a 54-23 win, then a 21-17 win. 7-6 over Kiwani, and they finished off against Montini 34-13. Let me tell you, this is one big crowd here for St. Joe's. And Eric, I want to go on record. I am pulling for good tonight. Back to you.
Thanks a lot, Mitch. We are getting ready to roll. The Class 3A state championship game, the St. Joseph-Ogden Spartans versus the Byron Tigers. And Byron kicks it off. That's Brian O'Raki kicking it off to Brian Royce. And we are underway. Royce starts left. Big hole there. Gets to the 30, the 35, the 40. Cuts up and all the way out to the 47-yard line. So a great start for St. Joseph-Ogden. 46-yard return. And just like that, the Spartans are in business.
Well, this is what you want to do. Get the ball in the hands of him right away. Royce, he's the guy who's electric in the open field. He has a big hole there open. And if he's not sealed off by the kicker, took him on head on, that might have been a touchdown.
So St. Joseph-Ogden, we were talking about the strong offense that Byron is showing all season long. They're no slouches either, averaging 40 points a game. First give of the game is to Jared Whittick, and Whittick pounds his way across midfield. Let's take a look at the St. Joseph-Ogden's offense. The linemen, Mason Bogan, Kyle Wolf, Kevin Bewley, Michael Wazowski, and Jordan Lawhead, the big 330-pounder. The backfield is Matt McKinney, the senior signal caller, Brian Royce, the all-stater, and Jared Whittick, who's got wonderful speed for a fullback. Ends and wideouts, Matt Walsh, Brady Smith, and Rob DeRoshi. Here we go. 2nd and 5. Handoff. This time to Royce. And it looks like he'll have the first down for 2 plays, and they move the stick. Let's set the defense for you. For Byron, Paul Sloan at the left end, Mark Mayer in the middle, along with Patrick Hughes, Lucas Wedmore at the other end. Linebackers Cotter and all-stater, Matt Coley and Robert Irving, and defensive backfield of Dallas Rass, Matt Mayline, Jeff Boyer, and Sean Considine will go both ways. Remember, he is also their record-setting tailback. First down at 10, ball on the 42. Back to pass with Matt McKinney. Looks down the sideline, and that ball is incomplete. Good defensive play down the sideline. Matt Mayline breaks it up. Ball was intended to Brady Smith.
Well, you see McKinney lost that thing up. Mayline doesn't give him any room there. That's the way you play it as a corner. You use the sideline as your friend, that the receiver has no other place to go. Fine play.
Second down at 10. Ball on the 42. Matt McKinney, the senior signal caller, just 5'9", 145 pounds. For what he lacks in size, he makes up with guts and leadership. Hand up there to Royce. Royce tries the left end, not much there at all. And he is stacked up.
Well, one of the things you have to do when you're going to tackle a dangerous runner like Royce, you have to get as many guys to the football as possible, because a lot of times he's going to make that first guy miss. So you have to pursue with as many guys as you got. You can't assume that just one guy's going to tackle him.
Big third down now. 3rd and 10. They've yet to move the ball since they've crossed midfield. Should be a reminder to you folks that the Spartans of St. Joseph-Ogden, they have had good success offensively this year, 7 times during the regular season. They had over 40 points at halftime. 3rd down and 10. McKinney drops back to pass for the 2nd time in the game. Flushed out of the pocket. Looking. Oh, man, he is absolutely hammered, and ball is picked off. Interception by Mark Cotter, their all-state defender, and just like that, Byron has the football.
Well, that's one of the mistakes you make as a quarterback. You don't want to be running and throw back across the field. That's a cardinal sin. You know, he's in plus territory. You don't want to give up the football like this. Now watch him. He's going to throw back across the field. You can't do that because the ball's going to hang just like that, and the defender can make a play for the ball.
And that insult to injury, he was hammered by Matt Coley. So now for the first time, the Byron Tigers will take to the field on offense. Senior signal caller Jeff Boyer hands off. This one to Matt Mayline. And Mayline showing that good speed around the right corner. I'm sorry, that's Sean Considine. That's the first run of the ball game for Considine, and it's a gain of 19. Al mentioned he has an average of over 11 a carry, and this time he gets 19.
Well, you can see why. Look at that quickness on the inside. He just reads his blocks extremely well, sets his blocks up, and just gets around the corner and uses that quickness.
One play, one first down. First down at 10, ball on the 35. Just getting started, first quarter action. Jeff Boyer hands it off to the up-back. And Mark Cotter pounding the middle right there. Let's take a look at the Byron offense. The Tigers on the offensive line have John Bunger at left tackle. Matt Coley's next to him. The center, Patrick O'Neill, who's the only junior on the line. Lucas Wedmore at guard, and Andy Hassler is the tackle. In the backfield, Jeff Boyer calls the signals. The all-stater, Sean Considine, is the halfback. The fullback, Mark Cotter, with the receivers, Matt Mayline, Eric Pavadica, and Adam Holt is your tight end. 2nd and 4. Ball on the 41. Boyer fakes the handoff on the option. Will keep it. Good yardage up the middle. He is in the open down the right side and finally hammered down at the 33, but not before a good pickup there by the quarterback. A gain of 26.
Well, this happens once you establish the run game on the inside. You can fake the handoff to your fullback and just come right around there, and there's no one up on the inside. There's a missed tackle right here that should have been made, and Boyer's off to the races.
Boyer himself taking it all the way down to the 33-yard line. He is also an accomplished passer, so look out for that. Hand off to Considine, around right end. Good yardage over there. He's finally tripped up, but not before he gets his average, picking up another gain of 11. Let's take a look at the defense for St. Joseph-Ogden. On the line, Tyler Weidenberner, Craig Dilley, Chris Swisher in the middle, Noah Masley at the end. Linebackers Tim Franklin, he also doubles as their place kicker, Mitch Getting and Brian Gorman. And in the defensive backfield, junior Kevin Hill, flanked by Kyle Apple, Ben Frick, and Mark Wirtz is your safety. First down at 10, ball on the 22. Boyer under center, hands off, this time to Cotter. And Cotter still rumbling, finally tackled at the 17.
You know, Eric, one of the things I noticed that even when they're getting tackled, they're getting good forward momentum. Cotter there, he got hit a couple yards behind, but he dragged the tacklers along. I think there's one thing that St. Joe's going to have to do is bring their feet to the ball carrier. I see too much reaching early in this game, and they're going to be in a lot of problems if they don't bring their feet to the ball carrier and get their shoulders underneath them.
First down, I'm sorry, not first down, 2nd down and 2. Fumbled snap, and Boyer has to just fall on it. Flags are down on the field. Something happened a little bit not to the liking of the officials and want to figure out what the ruling was. Maybe a false start.
Usually, if they call it that early, usually.
False start. Offense. Repeat. 2nd down.
See, that's a break there for St. Joe. You know, they've been reeling a little bit. Here you have a defense that's only given up 16 points in the first half all year, and early in the game, someone's already threatened them inside their 20-yard line, so they needed that break. They need to kind of gather themselves to make a stand here.
Let's see if the Spartans can capitalize. It's now 2nd and 9. Handoff down to Considine. Considine running well inside the 5, finally down just inside the 1-yard line. They'll have to wait. Gain of 20 on that carry.
You know, the wing T presents you with a lot of problems. Not only do they attack you on the inside, they come on the outside. Just a little counter there with Considine coming around there. And we talked about the great blocking. He's averaging, what, 11 yards a carry. We've seen that so far in this drive.
Finally tackled by Mark Wirtz at the 1-yard line. Handoff right up the middle, and Mark Cotter easily gets into the end zone for 6. So the first score of the game goes to the Byron Tigers. And they are up 6-0 over St. Joe-Ogden. Not a lot of difficulty right there in that touchdown drive.
No, and you see they got the fans into it. You know, this is one of the things you have to find out. Something had to give in this game. Either defense is going to stand up or the offense is going to take off. So far, the offense has gotten a jump.
And Mark Cotter wanting all 7 of the points. He scored the touchdown. Now he'll kick the extra point. Snaps down, straight ahead kick is through the uprights for the extra point. 7-0 is our score. 7:21 remaining in the first quarter of play. Stick around. We'll come right back to Memorial Stadium. Welcome back to the IHSA Class 3A State Championship football game. Byron on top of St. Joseph-Ogden early by a score of 7-0. That last drive was basically the Mark Cotter story. He picked off the pass, ran in a touchdown, and kicked the extra point. Kickoff by Brian Oraki. Down to Brian Royce. Inside the 5-yard line. Royce tries the right side. Running room. One man to beat. It's the kicker. Gets past him and finally corralled on the other side of the 50-yard line. So another spectacular return by Royce. This one 48 yards.
Well, Eric, they ran last time on the left side. They went close to 50 yards on, and this time they go on the right side. A lot of this is the blocking. Not only the great running by Royce, but the blocking. They have a kick return right, we call it. Return right. See everybody heading to the right there, the wall? He just catches the wall. Good block there, good seal, and he's off to the races once again. He puts a little move on the kicker, but he has some people coming up from behind.
First down and 10, ball on the 48-yard line. Royce with the ball in his hands. And this time, he's not going anywhere at all. This copyrighted broadcast is presented for the entertainment and non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction or other use of this program without the express written consent of Fox Sports Net, Intersport, and the IHSA is strictly prohibited. Al Harris will be doing the enforcing.
I'll tell you what, there's some forcing done right now on the offense for Byron. Now St. Joe has to step back and make a play. 2nd 8, inside handoff. Not much there at all. Jared Whittick on the run. And they're going to have a 3rd down in the offing for the Spartans. But this is very important for them early on because, you know, their defense, they have only had 16 points, as we talked about all year, scored on them in the first half. You know, they have to be reeling a little bit. So I think you want to slow down Byron a little bit by getting at least the 1st down, if not getting it later on into the end zone for a touchdown.
2 undefeated teams, both 13-0, looking for win number 14. Fake handoff and snap down in the backfield by a blitzing Sean Considine. We talked about him in the open as an offensive player, but he's also a pretty darn good defensive back. A loss of 12 yards on the play.
Well, they try to do a little play-action pass fake there, but that's hard to do on 3rd and long. Considine doesn't buy it at all. That's tough to throw in a play-action pass on that long distance, so good call by the Byron defensive coaches.
So that'll bring up a 4th and long, 4th and 18, with 5:33 remaining in the first quarter, and a timeout is called for the Spartans of St. Joe-Ogden. Mitch Robinson down to the sidelines. Mitch, what do you got?
Thanks a lot, Eric. We're here with John Wright, former Illini, former NFL player, and I guess you would say the creator of their Field of Dreams for St. Joe's. Tell everyone about it. You have built your own practice facility for them.
Yes, we did, Mitch. When I saw the movie Field of Dreams, I thought it was a great film, and I thought it was a great concept, but it was just the wrong sport. And so about 3 years ago, we built a regulation in every sense of the word football field, kind of in honor of my father, who did coach here at Illinois. And St. Joe and the University of Illinois practices on it once a year, and St. Joe practices on it about 3 times a week. And it's really fun to watch the kids out there and watch them on the field.
Before I throw it back up top, you've seen St. Joe play all season. Down 7-0. That's not a lot for them, is it?
No, they're a fine team, although Byron's first drive was very impressive.
All right, John, thanks a lot for joining us. I appreciate it. All right, Eric, back up to you.
Great job, Mitch. Now punting situation. giving the ball a boot is the punter, Jason Ossenbrenner. And he kicks it all the way down to the 21-yard line. Not much of a return there at all. Mark Connor on the return. 35-yard punt, 4-yard return.
35-yard kick for Aspen.
It'll be first down and 10 on the 25-yard line for the Byron Tigers. Looking for behind-the-scenes peek at the Chicago sports scene? Well, then you need full access. This week, Norm Van Leer goes one-on-one with Bulls head coach Tim Floyd, plus the Hawks. Want to know if you're one of them. All that and more on Full Access tomorrow at 1:30 on Fox Sports Net. First down and 10. Ball in the 25. Jeff Boyer hands off to Mark Connor, and Connor has been everything as advertised early on. Bangs out another tough 8 yards.
Well, I tell you what, Byron is so tough to defend. They got a very tough physical runner like Cotter. They got a slasher speed guy like Considine, and they have a quarterback like Boyer who can handle the ball and throw the ball as well. That's tough to defend, and that's going to really stretch St. Joe's defense. It's going to be tough for them.
They give him 9 yards. It's 2nd and 1. Ball on the 34. Boyer, this time to Considine, trying the right end. Considine shakes a tackle, goes out of bounds, but not before he picks up the first down. Finally pushed out of bounds by Mark Wirtz.
This is just pure speed by Considine. He's going to take off just a basic sweep, get the lineman outside, and he just blows by the defender there. Just fine speed by him.
Believe it or not, Mark Considine on the year rushed for over 1,300 yards, but he actually missed 2 games and he was hampered with an injury and 6 others. This time, Considine not going anywhere, though. Probably the best defensive play we've seen all game long for St. Joe-Ogden. Good defensive play by Ben Frick to stop down Considine.
But that's what we're talking about. They got to get their feet to the ball carrier. You see too much reaching and grabbing right now. I don't know if, they do have some great runners on Byron, but as defenders of St. Joe, you have to have some pride in yourself fundamentally and get your feet to the ball carrier, and that time it was done.
2nd down and 10. Boyer drops back to pass. Lobs one up over the middle. Intercepted. Intercepted by Kevin Hill, and he's got running room. Over the 50. Cuts wide. And he is down at the 36-yard line. A good return by Kevin Hill. A 29-yard return for him. And that's, it should be a little bit of a boost right there for the Spartans. That's just what they needed to stop the Byron Tigers and get good field position.
Big, huge boost. They had it wide open down the seam there. Boyer just overthrows the ball. Yes, Holt wide open there, and Hill makes the play. Holt was wide open down the seam. Boyer just got a little too anxious. Hill makes a fine return.
That's something Boyer didn't do very often during the season. Just 3 interceptions coming into this ball game. Here's Brian Royce trying the left side, and not much doing at all. Al, are they running much behind Jordan Lawhead, the man that we spotlighted at the beginning?
They did it the first couple of series, but I think, they started to overload that side. So, you have to keep them honest every once in a while. But they're going to go back to Lawhead. He's their guy. He's their bread and butter. They're going to stay on his side predominantly.
Jordan Lawhead, believe it or not, he's 6'4", 330 pounds, lost 25 pounds this year. He has a brother, an older brother, 6'7", 180 pounds, almost half the weight of his younger brother. There's a run outside by Jared Whittick. Whittick knocked out of bounds.
All I can say about that is he must have got all the meals on the dinner table.
His brother played basketball at St. Joe-Ogden. Graduated a couple of years ago. 6'7", 180 pounds.
Well, you talk about a contrast.
2 minutes, less than 2:41:40 remaining. Taking a look at Jarek Whittick. State qualifying sprinter in the spring. Fake handoff. Blitz picked up. Now trying to make something out of nothing is Matt McKinney, and there's no place for him to go.
I'm telling you what, a lot of people are impressed with St. Joe's defense. Byron's defense is playing very well. I mean, they're getting after people. Now watch this. They pick up the blitz well, but I mean, watch those guys. They keep fighting and fighting. Just getting people to the ball left and right.
Paul Sloan with the sack. That forces a 4th down and 11. Coming on to punt once again is Jason Aschenbrenner. Nice long punt. Drops inside the 5, but goes into the end zone for the touchback. The ball will be moved out to the 20-yard line. A 37-yard punt, but because of the 20-yard touchback, just a 17-yard net.
Well, this will be interesting. You got a minute 49 in the first quarter, 7-0 Byron. Now, how do you, as St. Joe, stand up defensively against this wing T? This wing T, they don't see it often. They don't see it all the time, but obviously he's getting a lot of problems. They're going to have to disrupt the rhythm in there, maybe throwing a couple blitzes in there.
First down and 10 on the 20-yard line. Boyer under center. Handoff goes to Considine, and Considine gets 3, maybe 4 before he's gang tackled. Well, you talk about defending that wing T. The only time this season that St. Joe-Ogden has seen the wing T was against Kewanee 2 weeks ago. They struggled in that game. They won just 7-6. They had a point after touchdown block near the end of the game, but it still went through the goalpost, and that's the reason why they won by 1.
And I can't imagine Kewanee having any kind of offense like Byron. Byron is devastating, so it's going to be tough for him.
Second down and 7. Ball in the 23. Man in motion. Give to the up back Cotter, and Cotter once again finding good running room. Oh, man, running over people, getting all the way out to the 43. Finally stopped by Kevin Hill. A gain of 20 for Cotter. We're going to have to start adding up those yards. He's having a heck of a first quarter.
He sure is. But see, this is what I'm talking about. The guys are not getting their feet to the ball carrier. They're around there. They're just reaching arms. See, arms, arms, arms. You got to get your body to the ball carrier. Now you got ran over there. You got to be more aggressive.
41 yards on the day for Cotter. First and 10 from the 43. Boyer keeps it up the middle, running room, close to a first down. He may have gotten it. Finally tackled once again by Mark Wurtz. Wurtz and Kevin Hill, the two safeties, making all the tackles so far, and that's not really something you can brag about.
No, and that's not good. You don't want to wear your safeties out in the first half trying to make every tackle. The line has to take some authority up there.
Take a look at some of these numbers about these two offensive powerhouses, both of them averaging over 40 points a game. The rushing yards just absolutely mind-boggling, and the total yards kind of hard to believe. You understand why these two teams are taking each other on to the state final. Reverse right there. Reverse to Matt Mayline, and he has room to move. Another huge chunk of yards, and once again, the sticks continue to move. They're getting chunks of yards of excess of 10 every single play. That went a 14-yard gain.
Well, I think, you know, part of the reason they're not familiar with this wing T, a reverse here. And you're going to watch Ben Frick, number 32, the defensive back there. He does a nice job in offensive tackle, keeping it on the inside and making the play. Frick, touchdown, because he was the only guy out there.
Now less than 20 seconds remaining in the first quarter. 7-0 Byron. Byron still has the wind at their back, so they may try and get a little bit more moving right now before the quarter ends. Handoff up the middle to Cotter. And Cotter once again doing what he does best, just taking it right through the teeth of the defense. And Cotter bangs it down inside the 20-yard line, a gain of 16 that time.
I'll tell you what, this is very impressive. I mean, it seems like they're ripping off chunks of 8, 10, 12-yard runs on almost each play. And they're hitting them on both sides in the middle. They have them totally off balance right now.
And that will be the last play of the first quarter. And mercifully for St. Joe-Ogden, they get a chance to kind of cool their heels for a moment. 7-0, Byron on top of St. Joe, but Byron is threatening. 12 minutes in the books here in the Class 3A state championship, and so far it has been all Byron. Byron High School so far has the only points of the game, a touchdown and the extra point, and now they're threatening. Ball in the 17, first down and 10. Boyer hands off to Considine. Considine going right. Does well just get back to the line of scrimmage. First quarter stats for you.
Tackled by 68 Chris Swisher. And number 8.
Rushing yards, a decided advantage for the Tigers of Byron. 164 more yards for Byron. First downs, 9, all of those on the ground. An average rush of 11.1. That's basically what Sean Considine averages all season long.
It's a miracle. The game's only 7-0. I mean, St. Joe has to feel fortunate they're even in this game.
Al, I got a stat for you. Our crack statistician here in the booth just gave us this one here. The Class 3A state record for rushing first downs in a championship game is 18. In the first quarter alone, Byron had 9. So they're on pace to shatter that record.
Obliterated.
But, uh-oh, trouble in paradise. Sean Considine has to leave the ball game right now. He's getting attended to. Just a little minor bleeding, we're told, so I'm sure he's just going to get taped up, and he'll probably be back in the ball game, hopefully. If not, we have a man down there, Mitch Robinson, doing wonderful stuff.
Official IHSA
I have a feeling that St. Joe defense is doing a lot more bleeding right now.
Well, give Coach Everett Stein credit. He's been at Byron for 33 years, and he's calling him like he sees it. I talked to him earlier this week, and he flat out said, this is the best team I've ever had. I've seen good and I've seen bad. I've had 2 winless teams. I've had solid teams, but this is flat out the best team I've ever seen play, anyone we've played against or any team that I've coached.
The other thing we have to consider here is St. Joe is making a step up. They were 2A last year, and this is their first year of 3A. And Dick DeValle was concerned a bit about making that next step up, how the team would step up in this state championship game, playing a higher level competition.
Now, despite the fact that St. Joe-Ogden does have that big Jordan Lawhead on the line, Dick Duval realizes that he basically has a size mismatch all up and down both the offense and defensive line. Second down and 10, ball in the 17. Hand off to Cotter for the first time all game long. Cotter not finding much running room. Let's get on to Mitch Robinson. Mitch, what do you have?
You know, Eric, now with Cotter just getting the ball, he has about 63 yards rushing so far. The record in the 3A state final for one person, 257 yards rushing. So he's got his work cut out for him. But who knows? On track? Maybe. And 410 for a team is the record as well. So we may see records tonight. Back to you.
Thanks, Mitch. Third down and 9. Another handoff this time. Going straight up the gut once again is Cotter. And it looks like it may be close to the first down. May need a measurement.
That's hard to believe that guy didn't make All-State as a runner. I mean, he gets positive yards every time he gets it. Even when you make a contact with him, he's going another 4 or 5 yards.
Looks like it's going to be fourth down. They're not even going to need a measurement. It's going to be 4th and 1. 4th and 1. Sean Considine back in the ball game. Boyer to Cotter. Cotter picks up the first down. Well, Mitch was talking about state championship records and performance and all that kind of stuff. Well, the Byron running game is accustomed to setting records. To this day, they still hold the record, or an alum holds the record for most rushing yards in a 9-game season. You may remember a guy by the name of Adam Dock. He is the state record holder for the most rushing yards in a 9-game season, when in 1986, he rushed for over 2,300 yards. Went on to be a 4-year starter at fullback in Northern Illinois in DeKalb, just down the road from Byron. 11th play on this drive. 1st and 5. 1st and goal from the 5. Handoff goes. Considine, not much running room. He's stopped.
That's what you need right there. Weidenberger, 84, came up there. The defensive end, 6'6", 213 pounds. That's how you got to get your feet to the ball carrier. I can't overemphasize that enough. Get your feet as a defensive player. Get your feet to the ball carrier, and the guy's not going to run through you. There he is.
Gain of 0 on the play. 2nd and goal. This time Cotter, and Cotter scores. Cotter now with all 13 points for the Tigers. It's 13-0. Byron on top, and look at Cotter. All in the day's work. He's going to relace the shoes and kicks the extra point now.
I tell you what, this young man is very impressive. Not only him, but the offensive line of Coley, Buckner, O'Neill. They're just manhandling right now that St. Joe offensive line and the defensive line.
Now Cotter, who during the regular season was 46 of 55 on his extra points, is now 2 for 2 in championship play. 14-0, Byron on top of St. Joe-Ogden. And now this is quite different from what we saw in the first game, the single-A championship. In that ball game, we saw Carthage use their fleet runner, Wyatt Green. We saw him used a lot in the first half, just kind of going around ends and using his speed. And in the second half, the Blue Boys on their way to the state championship, they pounded Curtis Bisbee right up the middle. They started using the power in the second half. Now, I think we both expected to see more of Considine outside, and maybe we figured Cotter in the second half once they were worn down.
They're doing every which way. They're hitting them outside, inside. They're throwing everything. They're throwing a book at them right now. And the problem is St. Joe can't do anything about it. They got to get guys to the ball carrier. They just can't assume one guy is going to be there. They just look like they're heavy or a step slow or something. But again, they haven't faced a wing T. So there might be some confusion, and when you're confused, you're not as aggressive.
14-0. Byron on top of St. Joe-Ogden. Squib kick right down the middle. Bobbled, picked up. Good return by the Spartans. They get it close to the 40-yard line. Well, folks, if you're looking for the best coverage of IHSA sports anywhere in Illinois, well, look no further than Chicago Tribune Preps Plus. Each week, Eric Collins, that's me, gives you all the scores and highlights from the biggest high school events in the state. Preps Plus, Sunday after the NFL this morning, only on Fox Sports Net. I will attest that I like that show.
Now watch the line here. Watch the blocking there. Coley, 62. Nice trap block in there. They just rooted people out of there.
Now Brian Royce gets the carry on 1st and 10, and nothing doing. Mark Cotter getting it done on defense. That's his 3rd tackle. We mentioned that all the accolades we were giving him on offense, he was given accolades as an all-stater for his defensive play. He already has a pickoff, and now he has 3 tackles.
And I think, too, they know that they're going to go at Lawhead, and it seems like they might be overloading and slanting towards that side, knowing that Royce is going to run behind Lawhead, which is a good job on their part right now. They're getting people to the ball carrier.
2nd and 8. Late handoff. Royce. Pickup of a couple.
Royce again, the ball carrier.
Now, let me see the difference in defense here. You see 3, 4, 5 guys in white shirts around the ball carrier every single time. But when you see St. Joe, you only see 1 guy in their color around the ball carrier. So it's almost like who switched uniforms on these defenses.
The Spartans have to be in a little bit of a state of shock right now. The first points they've allowed in the 2nd quarter all season long, and they're doing it close to home. Memorial Stadium just 9 miles away from their high school. 3rd and 7. Back to pass. McKinney. McKinney airmails his receiver. And it looks like they'll probably have to punt. 4th and 7.
And Eric, that's not good. You're talking about a defense is probably tired. They've been on the field most of the first half. They've been getting physically beat up front, offensively as well as defensively. And now they have to kick back to a red-hot offense like Byron. They're in a lot of trouble.
Now coming on to punt is Jason Aschenbrenner. Averaged 35.1 yards on the year with a long of 64. Gets it off, and it's a good one. Considine has the ball. Going left with room. Considine cuts back and takes it all the way across the 50-yard line. So great starting field position for the Byron Tigers. A 42-yard punt, a 35-yard return, so a net of just 7.
I tell you what, we have 2 great returners, don't we?
And we got a great offensive performance by the Byron Tigers. They're up 14-0. We'll take a quick break. Welcome back. 1st and 10, ball on the 49-yard line. Sean Considine. Big chunk of yardage. He has close to a 1st down. Kevin Hill making another tackle from the safety position. That's his 8th already.
They're just basically, they're hammering them every which way but loose. They run a little counter OT. Watch the 2 guys pull on your left side of the screen. Nice quick trap there. Blowing holes open for Considine.
Good tackle by Kevin Hill. Unfortunately, he's getting the job done 10 yards down the field.
And he's all alone when he's making the tackle. That's going to wear you out as a defender.
So far, Considine, 9 carries, 67 yards. Plus that good punt return we just saw. Mark Cotter matching him yard for yard. Looks like they're going to be just a hair short, 2nd down and less than 1. St. Joe-Ogden, just down the road. It's actually not a parochial school, it's a public school. Combines 2 communities, St. Joseph and Ogden. Just a little bit down the road from here, so they have a large contingent of fans here in the stands. Trying to make some noise and root on that defense. 2nd and 1. Boyer hands to Cotter, and Cotter gets the 1st down. Al, a little bit of pressure for the Byron Tigers. They need to win to keep pace with the Stillman Valley Club that won earlier this afternoon. They were playing in 2A. They're the big rivals of Byron. Those two teams met earlier this year in a barn burner that was won barely by Byron. They won the Class 2A championship. They're just about 8 miles away from Byron, and now Byron needs to win to keep pace with their friends/enemies sometimes. Look at that, 10 more first down for Byron than St. Joseph-Ogden. Handoff up the middle, Considine. Shifty moves, weaving his way forward, picking up another first down. Kevin Hill makes the stop. He's the tightest guy in the defense, 14 yards for Considine.
I tell you what, I think those defense better make up their mind. You see guys reaching. There's a reach right there. You're going to see just arm tackles. You can't do that and tackle good running backs like Considine and Potter. They're just going to run right through your tackles. They always get positive yards. And there's just one-on-one guys. I don't know. They look like they must be confused.
1st and 10, ball in the 23. Hand off to Considine again. And this time doesn't get his average. Doesn't quite get 11. But he gets a good chunk on first down. Considine, his coach, Everett Stein, says if he were healthy all season long, remember he missed 2 games with injury, and he was hampered in 6 others with a little bit of a hamstring problem. If he had been healthy all season long, his coach says his numbers would have been staggering.
Staggering. There already are 33 touchdowns he has. Now, he doesn't have a lot of yards, but, I mean, 20, you know, he has 33 touchdowns overall and 11.4 yard average. That's incredible.
We have a man down on the field right now for St. Joe Ogden. We'll try and figure out a name and a number for you once we get it. We don't want to speculate. 14-0. Byron on top. 6:47 remaining in the second quarter. The Class 3A state championship game. The story so far has been the offense of Byron. Sean Considine and Mark Cotter have been running wild. Cotter has been responsible for all 14 points being scored. The state record in a championship game is 24 points scored by an individual.
Not only the offense, but the defense of Byron as well. You're talking about going against Brian Royce, who's one of the best players in the state. And, I mean, shutting down their offense to, what, 2 yards in the first quarter?
Yeah, that's impressive. And that's an injury right now that truly the Spartans can't afford to have. Mitch Getting is down, but it looks like he's going to be okay. He's coming off under his own power.
That's a good sign to see him walk it off and no one really holding him.
Yeah, Mitch Getting led the team in tackles this year with 85 to go along with his 8.5 sacks from the middle linebacker spot. In his place is Ryan Cordes. 2nd down and 4. Ball in the 17. Ready to play ball again. Boyer hands to Cotter. Cotter tries the middle. Tackle by Noah Maisley.
Noah Maisley came scraping down from his right end position, did a good job of pinching down so Cotter couldn't get any momentum like he had in the past. You saw a couple of guys come around. Watch from the right side of your screen. Maisley coming down there, 24, squeezes it down really well.
This is the first 3rd down attempt of the game, believe it or not, for Byron. And they do that well, just like they do 1st down and 2nd down. Going right up the middle on 3rd and 2 is Mark Cotter, and he picks up the first down and much more. They're now inside the 10-yard line.
This guy is a very powerful runner. I mean, he's just steamrolling the St. Joe defense right now, just running right through guys. These guys hit him, he's moving forward a couple of yards.
Al, you got to like that helmet. Look at that, all cut and scraped.
And the intensity on his face, he had that Dick Butkus look on his face.
1st down and goal from the 8. Handoff. Actually, no, a keeper by the quarterback. And going around end is Boyer. Boyer finally brought down by Mark Wirtz. And the 2 safeties, both of them have 8 or more tackles. Wirtz has 8 and Kevin Hill has 9.
One thing I noticed about Byron, too, they're in a quick tempo. They're getting in and out of the huddle in a hurry for a running team. I mean, usually for a running team, they kind of take their time a little bit, but these guys are getting in and out of huddle, putting a lot of pressure on the St. Joe defense.
2nd and goal, ball now on the 5-yard line. Boyer hands it off to Considine, and Considine finds 6. He will score for the first time in the ball game, but a flag is down on the field. We'll have to wait and see what that is. That may be the only thing that can hold down this powerful Tiger offense. Looks like it will go against Byron, so taking 6 points off the board.
Boy, fortunate for them because Considine faked the shorts off of Wirtz on that play.
I've got a hold against the offense. Repeat. Second down.
That'll move him back 10 yards.
Maybe that's the break St. Joe needs there. Make it second and long.
Second down and goal, ball now on the 17. Let's see if they go to the skies. Reverse to Matt Mayline, and Mayline with running room, weaving in and out, gets back exactly what the penalty just took away, gets it up close to the 5-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal.
I'm very impressed with Coach Stein's play calling. I mean, they are running everything, reverses, dives, counters. Here's a reverse here. Mayline, he just has blockers escorting him. Good job there by Frick once again. Frick once again did a good job of keeping that inside, keeping it from being a touchdown.
Handoff inside, and a good, powerful run ends up in 6 points. Mark Cotter going where he's been before. That's his 3rd touchdown, and folks, we're still in the first half. 20-0. Byron on top of St. Joe-Ogden.
This guy's like a road grader. Watch him. He's just moving earth, human earth on this. I mean, he's just running over people left and right.
And I thought that he was just retying his shoes before he goes to the place kick, but he actually changes his shoe. Going to change his shoe and now go for the extra point. If he makes this, he will have accounted for all 21 points in the ball game. The kick is up and good. So he's now just 3 points away from tying the state record for scoring by an individual player, and we're still with 4:34 remaining in the first half.
Extremely impressive drives. Obviously, Byron is no joke. I mean, you see them, they've ran through all these teams. You know, as Mitch shared earlier, 60, you know, they had 2 games of 61 at 57. And if St. Joe doesn't turn this around, it's going to be another one of those high-scoring games.
Well, we talked about Cotter getting close to having the individual record for points. Well, he just tied the 3A rushing touchdown record with 3 TDs in a ball game, and he's done it in 1 half. Mitch Robinson, 3rd part of our broadcast team, is down on the sidelines. Mitch, what do you have?
Thanks a lot, Eric. You saw Mitch Getting from St. Joe's get helped off the field. They thought it was his knee. Had a little discomfort. The knee turned out to be okay, but now it looks like it's the ankle that's bothering him. He caught his foot in the turf, which can sometimes happen. Unsure whether he'll be able to return. You also talked about how many points Byron scores. 7 times this year during a regular season game, they had a running clock because the points, they had a 40-point or more lead. That's a running clock. That's amazing. Back to you guys.
And thanks, Mitch. Kickoff is squibbed down, picked up by Brian Royce. He returns it out past the 20, and that's where the Spartans will get their offense started. Gain of 10 on the return for Royce.
Well, I think right now St. Joe needs to think about putting the ball up in the air a little bit, maybe let Matt McKinney make some plays. Obviously, Byron has game planned their run really well, so they might need to make some plays, you know, throwing the ball to Royce and Brady Smith, some of those other guys get their hands on the ball.
Matt McKinney has had good success throwing the football, threw for over 1,100 yards on the year. Pitch out to Brian Royce, and Royce just having a tough time. Mark Cotter, this time on the defense, makes the tackle. That's now 4 tackles to go along with that interception and 3 touchdowns to go from 3 PATs for Cotter.
This guy is all over the field. I mean, he's just taking over this game. But see, you have to keep their defense off balance. They're loading up on the run like that. They're giving up something somewhere else. So you got to take advantage of that. Obviously, you know, they feel that Royce is the key to take him out of the football game. And McKinney's not a bad quarterback. He has good smarts. He's a tremendous leader.
Just 4 rushing yards so far in the ball game for St. Joe-Ogden. And this time, Royce going nowhere. Sean Considine coming in from the defensive backfield and making the tackle.
Is 28 a magnet to the ball on both sides? I mean, he's running like crazy, scoring touchdown. He's a magnet on defense, attracting to the ball every time. He's just dominating both sides of the ball game right now.
Considine and Cotter, the 2 members of the backfield for Byron, doing a lot of damage, and now defensively, seems like they're the ones making all the tackles. St. Joe-Ogden 0 for 4 on 3rd downs in the game, and a 3rd and 15 right now. They're going to go deep, and the pass is intercepted. Intercepted by Jeff Boyer, the quarterback, makes the interception. So they will get the ball right where he picked it up and land it on the ground.
Well, see, when you're in 3rd and long, they can play off like that and just drop everybody deep. You get maybe do this on the first play, not on the 3rd and long play. You give them, see, they have plenty of guys back there. Boyer makes a fine play. They just dropped everybody off. You don't see that much pressure, but they know they have to make a big play downfield.
So Boyer picks off the pass, and now he will step underneath center and try and put more points on the board. 3:05 remaining, second quarter action, 21-0. Byron on top of St. Joe-Ogden. The keeper by Boyer. Boyer doesn't want to give up that football, and not much doing in the middle of the line.
I'll tell you what, this is a big play here. You're talking about 21-0. Their defense has been on, St. Joe's defense has been on the field the whole first half. They have to make a play just to get off the field and get the momentum back. I mean, they're still, believe it or not, can be in this game, but they have to make a stop right now.
Looking for a turnover, 2nd and 9. The give to Considine, and Considine with running room. Jumps over the pile and gets close to a first down. We mentioned that Byron averaging 49 points per game on the year. That translates into 632 points in 13 games. The record is 671 points in a season, set back in 1985 by East St. Louis, coached by Bob Shannon. So far, with 21 points in this ball game, they now have 653, so they're just 18 points away from tying the record. Handoff right up the gut on 3rd and 1, and Cotter picks up the first down. Kevin Hill, his 10th tackle of the ball game unofficially, all coming from his safety spot.
And the other thing we can't forget, you know, as often as we're talking about the running backs getting great yards, is the offensive line. I mean, the offensive line of Byron is just hammering St. Joe up front. And that's how they get that big movement and those big gaps for the running backs to run.
It is 4 seniors and a junior on the offensive line for Byron. They're going to pass it downfield, going deep from Mayline, and Mayline has the ball knocked out of his hands. A good defensive play.
Frick once again. Ben Frick. He's made some good plays today. Now watch from the right side of the screen, you're going to see a blitz here. That play should be made for a sack, but it's missed there. And they almost make a play out of the deep ball, but Frick does a good job. But Mark Wirtz, number 3, came in free on a blitz, and you call him, but you got to make the plays.
1:31 remaining in the second quarter. 2nd down and 10. Boyer fakes the handoff. Misdirection, going the other way. Flags are down. A good run by the quarterback on the keeper, but I have a feeling this one's coming back.
I think so. I think they got flagged for holding. They've been an offensive juggernaut, but sometimes they catch you.
I wouldn't say the only thing that stopped them, because really nothing stopped them, but the only thing that slowed down their momentum has been the yellow flags.
That and that one interception early in the game by Hill, but other than that, they've been on it.
Let's see if we can...
Now you're going to see a group of jerseys being... There's one right there.
Hate to point fingers, but I think it was Eric Pravadica probably who got whistled on the call. Oh, they're calling a clipping. That's why they're marching it back so far. So a clipping penalty will send them all the way back to the 37-yard line.
Wow, 37 and a mile.
Oh, man, it's 2nd and 21. It's got to be more than that. Boyer drops back. Hits Mayline. Mayline down the left end. He's pushed out of bounds, still a ways away from that first down. Pushed out of bounds by Ben Frick.
But the way they're gobbling up yards, it almost looks like they're going to pick this up. I mean, they're just ripping off chunks of yards with the St. Joe defense. The St. Joe defense, as we talked about earlier, that only gave up 16 points in the first half all year.
Third down play. Ball on the 48. They need to get to the 31 of the Spartans. 3rd and 19. Boyer hands off to Considine, and Considine finding running room. He may get it around the left end, and believe it or not, on they find a way to get the first down.
That's unbelievable. I think they'll go with a 2nd and 31.
2nd and 31, and then 3rd and 19, and they convert. A gain of 22 for Considine.
That's unbelievable. You're talking about a top defense. They're just running right through them, just like hot knife on butter. You know, it's very impressive.
According to Everett Stein, who would know, he's been a coach for 33 years at Byron. Of Sean Considine, he says, if a better football player, instinctually or academically, exists in the state of Illinois, I wouldn't believe it. He's already over 100 yards. Here's a throw down the middle, and the ball is broken up. Good defensive play by Mark Wirtz.
Mark Wirtz had another chance to make a big play there. He's got to take advantage of that to get his team off the field. Earlier he had a blitz that he could have made a sack, and this time he had an interception that he had lined up. Problem with Boyer, he's letting that ball hang a little bit too far. The tight end's wide open down the seam, but he's letting it hang, and that's giving the defensive backs a chance to react, but they have to make a play when they see it.
Adam Holt was open. Ball just didn't get there in time. 2nd and 10, ball on the 29. Single back. They throw out of this normally. This time they'll run it. Considine with room. Picks up about 5, maybe 6. Tackled by Chris Swisher. 46 seconds, and a timeout is called.
Chris Swisher.
Can you imagine the confidence you have as an offense when you're 2nd and 31 and on 2 plays you pick it up?
When you're already ahead 21-0, what does that do negatively for the defense, for the Spartans? What are they thinking about when they can't even stop a 3rd and 19?
And you're talking about off of a run. It wasn't a pass. I mean, that, you know, that's the one thing of, you know, when I used to play defense, it was one thing if someone was tricking you, you know, or throwing the ball, but it was another thing when someone was running it down your throat, because it symbolizes physical dominance, like you can't do anything about it. And I think that's the thing that St. Joe is facing right now. It just looks like the offensive line of Byron is just dominating St. Joe's defensive line. It's like you can't do anything about stopping us. We're running through your tackles. We're running around you. We're going over the top of you, and there's nothing you can do to stop us.
Now 3rd and 4, ball in the 23. The timeout was credited to Byron. They stopped the clock with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. They have 1 timeout remaining. Byron 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions, and look at this. Total yards, almost 300 yards for Byron. A goose egg for the Spartans. 3rd and 4, Boyer. To Considine, trying to squirrel his way to a first down, and he's going to come up short. It's going to be 4th and short. Clock is running with 31 seconds remaining. They still have a timeout. Does Byron, but they're not using it. Clock continues to move. 23, 22 now. 4th and 1.
See how quick they're out of the huddle? That quick rhythm offense.
4th and 1. The give will probably be to Connor. No, they're going to pass the football, and they're going to go to the end zone. Mayline makes the catch and the touchdown. Everything is going the way of the Byron Tigers. They have now jumped ahead 27-0.
Byron touchdown.
Wow. Wow.
Jeff Boyer now with 16 touchdown passes on the year for Matt Mayline. That is now his 16th touchdown, a 20-yard touchdown reception on 4th and 1.
Boyer hangs his ball up there. Mayline just does a great job of adjusting to the ball. He has Frick right there with him, but he just adjusted to the ball. Frick never saw it.
And Cotter shows that he is human. This is the extra point.
The only thing he's done wrong.
So Cotter misses out on a chance to pick up his 22nd point. It is now 27-0 Byron with just 9 seconds remaining in the first half.
Whew. Man, I don't know what you do as the coach. You're going to go in at halftime with a team leading you 27-0 and having a 300-0 average. I mean, yards gained on you. They have 300 yards. Their offense has no yards. What are you going to say? That's going to be really, really tough for St. Joe to come out in the second half. I mean, especially scoring like that right before half on 4th down.
But believe it or not, as dominant offensively as the Byron Tigers have been in 1999, probably the team that was second most dominant in all of Class 3A would have to be the St. Joe-Ogden Spartans. So if anyone can do it, it would definitely be them. 9 seconds remaining. A squib kick. Picked up by an upback. And running room breaks it out close to the 50 before being tackled. Just 5 seconds remain in the first half. It's probably enough time for a Hail Mary. Gain of 13 on the return.
Yeah, they can put 3 receivers out to the right side and what a lot of people call the Big Ben and just throw it up there and hope somebody can come down with a miracle.
That's Brady Smith who made the return, and don't be surprised if Brady Smith is the man who's the target for a Hail Mary if they do indeed try one. 1st and 10, ball to 48, just 5 seconds remaining. They will go to the skies. They're setting up a screen, and Brian Royce has the ball running left, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds with a negligible gain. They do pick up positive yards, but not nearly enough, and that'll do it for the first half of play. A first half in which it was all Byron. The Byron Tigers going to the locker room with a lot of smiles on their faces, but they know they still have 24 minutes of football left to play. They are on their way to winning that state championship, the first ever for their head coach. After 33 years, Everett Stein can smell that state title. We got Mitch Robinson down on the sidelines, and Mitch, what do you have for us now?
Thanks a lot, Eric. Coach Stein, 60th birthday, and your offense is making you look like a genius. Anything you call it looks like they're doing.
Well, this team, they make it look easy because no matter what you call, they make it work. I mean, it's simple as that. I mean, they're incredible.
What do you tell a club at halftime? You got a 27-0 lead. I mean, do you just say keep doing what you're doing?
Yeah, you just have to do that. Try to stay focused and just try to concentrate on tackling and blocking. And try not to have a letdown because 27-0 teams do come back from that.
I know you don't like to give out statistics, but you're very close to a lot of state records in a state championship game.
They don't mean nothing. The only thing we care about is winning.
That's what I'd like to hear. I'll talk to you after.
Thanks.
Good luck. All right, back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Mitch. Well, Coach said it best. The only thing that matters is the state championship, and they're well on their way. 27-0, Byron on top. We'll have more halftime festivities. Stick around, everybody. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium. We're at halftime of the Class 3A state championship game with the Byron Tigers on top of the St. Joe-Ogden Spartans, 27-0. Eric Collins here with Al Harrison. Al, that scoreboard's not lying. 27-0, and Byron was just as dominant as the score would indicate.
My goodness. I mean, I've done high school championships the past few years. I can't ever recall seeing such dominance in the first half by a team. I think it was, over 300 yards to maybe 2 for St. Joe. Incredible.
Right before halftime, right at halftime, we saw Everett Stein go to the locker room. He talked to Mitch Robinson. He said, hey, we just need to keep focused. Put yourself in Dick Duvall's shoes, the head coach for the Spartans. What's he talking to his club about right now in the locker room?
Well, it's one of the things he has to say is defense. You got to get your feet to the ball carrier. You've just seen people reaching left and right. But part of that may be, obviously they got tired at half, right towards the end of the half, but also confusion. If you're not confused if you're confused of who you have, a lot of times you're not as aggressive, so you're not swarming to the ball carrier.
Al, we saw a lot of positives in that first half. Who are you most impressed with offensively for the Byron Tigers?
I'm impressed with Matt Carter offensively and defensively. This guy is all over the field. I mean, he's just dominating people on both sides of the football. He's the most impressive football player out there so far.
Not only is he running wild, he's scoring touchdowns, he's kicking extra points, he's leading the team in tackles, and to boot, he has an interception. Maybe he can give us a ride home to the hotel after the ball game, too. And
he has that fierce look. He has that Dick Buckus-like look. You talked about earlier, his helmet. And this guy's just very physical. He's obviously the emotional temperature for Byron's offense.
Definitely fun to watch. Well, the score here at halftime is 27-0. We're going to take a quick break. When we return, we will have much more halftime festivities. 27-0, Byron on top of St. Joe-Ogden.
Welcome back to Champaign, Illinois. Halftime of the State 3A Championship. 27-0, Byron leading this one. I'm Mitch Robinson. Joining me now is Sarah Seed, the IHSA Event Coordinator and Champaign-Urbana Visitors and Convention Bureau. Convention and Visitors Bureau. I knew I'd get it right.
You got it right.
Sarah, talk to me about this. Putting this together, how many people are involved in getting this event going for the weekend?
Oh, I would say an average at least 300 people. Volunteers, committee members, just members of the community, University of Illinois. It's been a great experience. Great day.
For people who aren't even, I don't understand how they could not want to come into the game, but if they want to come out just outside, the events you got going on, tell us about them.
We got Tent City, which is set up just west of Memorial Stadium. It's got 6 team headquarter tents, along with a huge heated indoor tent that has food and drink vendors, interactive games, putt-putt golf, whatever you want, music. It's a ton of fun. It's been really, really well received by all the fans here this weekend.
Now, you say you were brought on to try and lure the IHSA to get back here. How big a feather in your cap would that be to have them play here from now on?
Oh, that would be a huge feather. With the new indoor facility going up in the next year, along with the Coaches Hall of Fame for IHSA, when the bid comes up in the year 2001 for boys football, we would love an opportunity to bid on it, and it's up to the University of Illinois.
And are you having a good time so far?
I'm having a blast. This has been a ton of fun. It's been fun to see the fans come in. It's been really fun to see the players come in and look at Memorial Stadium and just walk around and say, oh my gosh, we're finally here. What an honor for them.
Did you imagine in your wildest dreams you look up at a crowd? I mean, obviously St. Joe's is only 10 minutes away, but they got about 10,000 people here.
At least. I mean, I was calling about 10,000. I think we've got close to 15. So I'm just extremely thrilled. I've never seen a high school crowd like this before, and neither has people at Hancock Stadium in years past.
Wow, you're doing a wonderful job, Sarah. Thank you. It's been a success so far. Tomorrow will be just as good, I'm sure.
Sure will. Thank you very much for having me on.
Thanks for joining us. Stay with us. Halftime continues. First half highlights on the way.
The St. Joe-Ogden Spartans, well, they have their work cut out for them. They trail the Byron Tigers by a score of 27-0 at halftime, but there still is 24 minutes remaining in this ball game. Eric Collins joined by former Chicago Bear Al Harris. And Al, we're going to take a look at some highlights, and I have a feeling these highlights are going to look basically like the Mark Cotter show.
Oh, gosh, this guy just totally dominated the first half. Talking about a dominating guy. 3 touchdowns in the first half, and we're going to check each one of them out right here. Just a basic dive up there. Quick hitter, his first there. 7-0. Then they come right back, almost the same kind of play, and he just runs over people, showing his physical power. And you'll see on this third touchdown, basically each time on the same side of the football, and it is like the end zone kept saying, welcome back, Connor.
The only other time they did score did Byron that it wasn't involving Mr. Cotter was this pass right there to Matt Mayline. Matt Mayline catches the 20-yarder on 4th and 1. Just to add insult to injury to the folks from St. Joe-Ogden. Let's take a look at some of the first half numbers.
Speaking of insult to injury, 318 to 2 yards. I mean, that's just not going to get it done offensively. What that tells me is both sides of the ball on the line of St. Joe is being dominated. You see guys penetrate on their offensive line. Their defensive line is getting blown off the football. Both of those defensive lines and offensive lines have to step up to the forefront. This is something Dick Duvall worried about. Was their offensive line and defensive line standing up to Byron.
16-1 in terms of first downs. Obviously, St. Joe-Ogden's going to need to do something about that. We're going to talk to Dick Duvall in a couple of moments when he comes out of the locker room. But if you could get a chance to talk to him, what would you say to tell the troops?
I would just tell them, get emotionally involved in the game. You know, you're down by a lot. Come out there and show people what you really are like. Play with a heart 100%. If you make a mistake, go aggressively. Don't be out there thinking too much. I think they're thinking too much right now instead of just playing ball.
Well, like we said, there's still 24 minutes left to play, so truly anything can happen. At the half, the score, Byron up 27-0 over the Spartans of St. Joe-Ogden. We'll be back with much more in the start of the third quarter in just a smidge. Moments away from the beginning of the third quarter. Byron on top of St. Joe by 27. And as we get ready for the third quarter, Mitch Robinson is standing by with the head coach for the Spartans.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Talking to your team at the halftime, we know you have explosive offensive power. I got to believe you have to tell them that they are still in this thing.
Well, you know, we got to get some stops somehow. I don't know how that's going to be, but we got to find some way to stop them, and then we got to keep the ball in our hands for a while. We haven't done that yet, and you know, if we don't, then it's going to be just like the first half. So somehow we're going to have to figure out some way to stop them and then keep the ball in our hands.
All right, good luck. I'll let you get with your guys. Thanks, Coach. Eric, back to you.
Thanks, Mitch. Well, it should be noted that Dick Duvall and his club, they didn't even think that they were going to be playing in 3A this year. They just figured that they were a 2A club. But come playoff time, they were bumped up to a 3A, and this is what happens sometimes.
Yeah, it does. And I didn't like the look I saw in Dick's eyes. I mean, he looked discouraged. I don't know if he saw something in his kid's eyes or something. But it seems like right now maybe they're just searching for answers, someone to step to the forefront. He doesn't know who it's going to be. You know, this is the first time you come up to this level, and you want to make a good impression. And obviously he looked very hurt by the performance of his team. He said, we have to have someone to come up and make a stop. And that's what we've talked about. but they've been getting manhandled. Really, the story of this line is not so much the running backs, but it's the lines on both sides of the ball that have been getting manhandled. On the St. Joe side and on the Byron side, they've just been mauling people.
And let's do give the Spartans their credit. They ran through their season so far this year. They're 13-0. They've yet to really even be threatened. Just a couple of weeks ago, they had a close game against Kewanee, but they've been a dominant team in their own right, and this is truly just an unexpected experience for them.
Oh, man, I'm telling you what, you have to credit them. You go from 1 year from 2A to 3A, and you go through the schedule and have the record they have, but, you're coming against a dynamite team right now. Byron is just very hot. As Coach Stein talked about, he said he's coached 33 years, and this is the best team in 33 years he's had. That's a major league statement.
And Al, a statement earlier this week when I talked to the Coach Stein on the telephone, he said probably the biggest key to this season is the offensive line has been considerably better than I thought it would be. I thought it would be a liability this year, and it's turned out to be our strength. And I don't think he could have said more apt words.
Oh, man, I mean, they're showing it all the way. They're just being physical, moving, St. Joe off the ball continuously.
Veteran offensive line, 4 seniors and 1 junior getting the job done for the Tigers. Now kicking the ball off will be the Spartans. And picking the ball up down near the goal line.
One of the things I think is going to shorten this game and get them right back in the game is get a couple of turnovers. Think of stripping the ball. You got to get to the guy, first of all, but, making a strip when they're running the football. Reach around there, make them think about holding on the football as well as running aggressively. So I think that might be a good strategy for St. Joe to get back into this ball game.
Returning that ball for the Tigers was Dallas Ratz. He returned it 20 yards to the 24-yard line. 1st and 10. Still in at quarterback is Jeff Boyer, and Boyer will keep the football and run hard around the right end for a considerable gain.
Tackled by Mitchell Foss.
Mark Wirtz, another tackle. He has 9. The beat continues. Wirtz and Kevin Hill, the 2 safeties, both making a ton of tackles.
6 yards.
Combined, they have 20 tackles between the 2 of them.
Yeah, man. See, we always talk about the opening series on the 1st and 3rd quarters is going to tell a lot about the game, and we got to see who's going to step to the forefront on this one.
2nd down and 4 after that gain of 6 for Boyer. Just getting started in the 3rd period. Boyer takes the snap, the inside handoff, and met at the line and dropped. Was Boyer. I'm sorry, I guess he didn't make the handoff. Instead, he kept the football, and he was dropped behind the line. Good defensive play.
That's what they need. They need some guys to come up there and make some hits. Someone to get emotionally involved in the game.
That play by Noah Masley. He makes the stop. A loss of 2. It's now 3rd and 6. And oh boy, wouldn't this be a huge stop if they can force them 3 out in the first series.
This is big early for their defense. They need to get some confidence going right now. Don't wait, right now.
3rd and 6. The pitch out to Considine. Considine going right, crosses the 30, looking for that marker, and I think he may have got it. Stayed in bounds and drove for the marker, and he's going to be just right at it. Let's see if he's just a hair short. It all depends on the spot they give him, but Considine ran for over 100 yards in the first half.
I think he might be a tiny bit short. Probably 6 inches short, possibly.
They're going to measure it.
Let's see. It depends where they spotted the ball. I would say get about 6 inches. But you go for it, you're up 27-0.
One thing we haven't seen is their punter.
No.
They have to bring the sticks all the way across the field, and the measurement, I think it's going to be just a hair short. Don't have the best angle right there, but it's going to be just a couple links from that chain shy of the first down, and that's the decision. What do? You're up 27-0. Do you?
They haven't stopped me all day, but at the same time, you're taking a big chance because if they make a stop on you here, you can allow them right back into the game. So, obviously you have a lot of confidence in your offense. You've been ripping off a lot of yards. So it's interesting to see how their team comes out. It's very short. This is a big chance right here. And this would be a big stop for St. Joe if they can make something happen. 4th
and less than 1, they're going to go for it. Ball at the 33.5-yard line. They need to get to the 34.
They have to watch, too. They might give them a longer count to get them to jump offside.
Boyer snaps it, hands it off to Cotter, and Cotter has the first down. Finally stopped by Mark Wirtz, but not before he picks up the first down. And Cotter continues right where he left off in the first half.
When in doubt, give it to Mr. Cotter. He just powers his way through. He has a great body lean. Now watch it. Well, he got hit high there. Watch him get his shoulders back down and just deliver the blow. He launched Kevin Hill back a couple of steps on that blow at the end.
First down and 10, ball in the 37. Boyer, the pitch to Considine. Considine, met. Good defensive play right there.
Oh, boy, that's how you water somebody's eyes right there. Mitchell Cross, number 8, came up and delivered the blow.
Also helping out in that tackle was Tyson Shreve.
Watch Mitchell Cross, number 8. He's going to come up from the left side, and he's going to meet Mr. Cotter, although he got bounced back a little bit. To see the very end of that, but at least he met somebody, came up and hit somebody. He needed somebody being physical out there.
Second down and 9 now. Reverse. Mayline just worked in the first half. Room to run. Cuts back. Crosses the, well, just shy of the 50-yard line. Maybe gets up to the 50, but he will pick up the first down. A gain of 12. That's worked all night long.
You know what it seems like whenever you go against that wing tee, they just come at you with so many different plays and directions. They run that reverse. They've ran it, what, 3 or 4 times, and each time they picked up big positive yards on it.
I'll tell you, Al, I wasn't that familiar with the wing tee. You don't see it very often nowadays, but they're running it to perfection.
I think one of the reasons it's so effective, not everybody uses the wing tee. So obviously, you know, if you can run it well and you have the athletes, it's going to do really well in the playoffs.
First and 10, ball on the 50. Hand up the middle, room to run for Cotter, another first down. A gain of 12, maybe 13 for Cotter.
You know, one thing with Cotter, you can't wait for him. When he's coming out there, you got to meet him. Look at that face. I mean, he has so much intensity in him. You can't wait for this guy. And what Mark Wirtz does, number 3, he waits for him, and he gets trampled right here. So you can't wait for this guy right here. You got to come up and meet him. He almost got himself hurt right there. He's got to come up and bring the leather on him a little bit.
First and 10, ball in the 36. Considine picks up a ton of yards down the left end, and he has stopped just shy of the first down. Well, Al, we have the first of what I believe could be many records set on the night by the Byron Tigers. They've just set the record for the most rushing first downs in a state championship game. They now have 19 rushing first downs. The previous record was held by Geneseo. Also Belleville. The record was 18.
Well, they're going to obliterate this record the way they're running it right now.
Second and 3. They're going to pass. Going deep and completing the pass. Good catch right there by Mayline. Mayline making his second catch of the ball game. Both of them have been big gainers.
This Mayline kid is very, very impressive. I mean, this guy, he runs reverses well. He can adjust to the football well. This is the second time. Boyer hasn't really thrown great balls. He just kind of hangs that one up there, caught in the wind. Look at that great adjustment there by Mayline.
Gain of 25. That ball will be batted down on the 11-yard line, so they do have a chance for another first down without getting into the end zone. First down at 10. Pitch out to Considine. Nobody's out there. He's headed towards the pylon, and he scores his first touchdown of the game. So Considine gets in the act. He gets 6, and it is now 33-0. Byron Tigers, after an extended drive, reaches Pater.
I don't know how the defensive backs get outflanked. It's just a basic pitch, and they got all caught up on the inside there. No one was on the outside at all. I don't understand that play.
Coming on to kick the extra point is Mark Cotter. He's been successful on 3 of his 4 point-after touchdowns. Cotter looking for his 22nd point. And he gets it. So Cotter 2 points away from tying the state championship record for points in one game by an individual player. It is now 34-0. Byron on top of St. Joe-Ogden. We're going to take a quick break. Well, the numbers don't lie. So far, it has been all Byron. The Tigers up 34-0 on the Spartans of St. Joseph-Ogden. 7 minutes, 15 seconds remaining in the third quarter. So far in the second half, starting off just like the first half ended for the Tigers. Little squib kick picked up by Brady Smith. Brady Smith is tackled by a host of Byron Tigers. Where do you go for all the latest and greatest information on your favorite Illinois high school team or athlete? Next time, log in and check out www.ihsa.org. That's www.ihsa.org. First play of the drive of the second half. To get things off for the Spartans who run up the middle. Ryan Royce finds the going a little bit rough, picks up a couple. It'll be second down.
Well, I think the big key right now is for that offensive line of St. Joe to take authority right here. You got your monster offensive lineman there. Get behind him and get some movement on that defensive front of Byron.
Second down and 6. Ball on the 46. Quarterback is Matt McKinney. He's going to throw a pass out to his left. Ryan Royce has it. He is ganged up and tackled by Mark Cotter. Cotter with 6 tackles now defensively to go to an interception.
Now see, they just run a quick swing out there to get Royce the ball, but fundamentally sound. There's Cotter there. Once again, he's an all-state defender, and he's playing, and he's proving why he's all-state. I mean, this guy, you know about a dominant player on both sides of the football. I mean, he's just devastating. It's not just one side.
Truly. Look at those one-sided numbers right there. Almost 400 total yards for Byron, just 7 for the Spartans of St. Joe-Ogden. Looks like a false start as the preliminary call.
Against the offense. Repeat. Third down.
So what was it, 3rd and 5 will now be a 3rd and 10.
And they had a reverse. They had that reverse run to Royce there, and they had the guys flanked. They had some good angles. They had guys slot out on the top of the field. That might have been a good play for them. Now it's 3rd and long. You don't want to be in this situation.
3rd down and 10 from the 42-yard line. Matt McKinney, the quarterback of valedictorian. Great leader, great competitor. Now he's trying to lead his team down from a difficult situation. He's going to scramble, try and get the first down, and he's just going to come up shy. Probably about 2 yards short of the first down, but most likely they're probably going to go for it. It's going to be 4th and 2.
Got to go for it. You're down 34-0. I mean, have nothing to lose.
There is a rule in Illinois high school football that when a team is up 40-0, the clock runs continuously. The clock doesn't stop for first downs, nor does it stop for plays out of bounds or incompletion. So that is something that the Spartans need to guard for. It's 34-0. Byron on top of the Spartans. McKinney breaks the huddle. Drops back, a lot of pressure. Royce with the catch will have the first down easily. Good chunky yards down the left-hand side, and he's finally pushed out of bounds. The stop was made by Jeff Boyer, but not before a gain of 21 for Brian Royce.
Can you say finally? Finally some positive yards. Their first down, and we don't know how long. Nice job by McKinney, having everybody come in there, sets it up for Royce. He has the blockers out in front. They needed this big time for their confidence.
First down and 10. Hand off to Royce. Heading down the left side. Breaks a couple of tackles. This is his best run of the game right there. Close to the first down. And did the ball come loose? Oh, man. When it goes bad, it goes bad. And for the Spartans, after they get their best offensive play, best 2 offensive plays of the day, they turn the ball over.
Took the words out of my mouth.
Jeff Boyer picks up the fumble, so he now has a fumble recovery to go along with an interception. And oh, by the way, he's also quarterbacked his team almost flawlessly.
I mean, watch this right here. You got to protect the ball for Royce. Just popped it out of there. They just ripped it out. Nice recovery by Boyer, the quarterback. That kills you. You have your first significant drive. You can at least get some points on the board.
So the ball is turned over. It'll now be 1st and 10 for Byron at the 21-yard line. Pitch out to Constantine. It's still no one around in. It's a foot race all the way down the left sideline, and he's finally pounded out of bounds at the 50. Gain of 25 for Constantine, who continues to rack up those yards. truly, Al, it looks like it's fairly easy. There's no one out there.
I mean, I don't know what defenses they're calling exactly, but they're just getting outflanked. Just a basic pitch. He just runs around the end with no obstacles. No blockers are out there. He just runs right around the corner. It almost looks like they're missing a man outside.
Tackle made by Mark Wirtz. 13 tackles now for the safety. He's going to deserve a medal after this ball game. Handoff up the middle to Cotter, and Cotter fights his way across the midfield stripe.
Mark Cotter, ball carrier.
That was an unusual formation. They came out kind of like in a Bummerooski type of formation.
At the 50-yard line.
Half of their team, it seemed like, was on the left hash mark on the left side of the screen, and the rest of them was in the middle. I guess when you're up 34-0, you can throw everything at everybody.
Second down and 7. Ball right on the 50. 5:28 and counting remaining in the third period. Boyer keeps the ball. Charges forward, and he's going to be close to the first down.
You know what's incredible about this game? It just seems like all the plays that the coach was talking about, all the plays the players are making. I mean, they're making the right decisions. Boyer's making the right reads, if the handoff to the fullback or not, if to keep the ball, to pitch it, to reverse it, the right throws, the right catches. Everything is going well for him. I mean, it's amazing just to see how this game has went. Just everything. I mean, fumbles, you name it.
Everett Stein, not only is he pleased with the way this team plays offense, defense, and special teams, he's probably most proud of the fact that this team is just a bunch of smart kids as well. They do pick up the first down after the measurement. 11 Byron players were named to the all-conference team at the end of the year. Of those 11 players on the all-conference team, 7 of them qualified for the coach's all-academic team. So smart kids up and down for Byron. Constantine now with 177 yards on the evening. Give up the gut to Cotter, and Cotter gets a couple of tough yards.
And who said the extremely smart kids can't play football, huh? And that's a misnomer in this game. A lot of times people think, you know, you need the guys that, you know, to be the great football players that are not really driven in the school books, but obviously Byron has proven that wrong.
The quote exactly was, "We have a great offensive line and backs who can pass, run, and catch, but they are intelligent, above and beyond all other things." That's saying something, folks. Second down and 7. Bayline in motion. Boyer going down the line, and he's going to keep it, and finally he's wrapped up. So good defensive play right there. Tackle is made by Tim Franklin. Franklin, number 15, also doubles as their place kicker. Unfortunately, not a lot of activity for him so far today.
Just on one side of the football.
Yeah.
Defense.
These guys are going to need oxygen mask. They've been out there so long.
You know, well, they got third down here. They need to make a play. They need to get some penetration, at least disrupt the flow.
Third down and 6. Boyer hands off to Cotter, and Cotter fighting forward. He's going to be close to that first down, but I don't know if he got it. Brian Gorman on the stop, among others.
Franklin again on the tackle.
I don't even think we're going to need a measurement. I think Cotter was just a little bit short. It's going to be 4th and 1. Ball in the 34, and now just for their own self-esteem, I believe the Spartans need to make a stop here. Hand off to Cotter, and Cotter picks up the first down. Once again, we've told you that they already set the state championship game record for rushing first downs, and they keep adding to that total.
First down.
You know, you can just tell that the demeanor of teams, we talk about that a lot, just the swagger that Byron has right now. I mean, they're just coming out there, and it's like, hey, you can't stop us. It doesn't matter. We're going to go on 4th down. It's 4-down territory for us all the time.
1st and 10, ball in the 31. Boyer, tricky hand up in the backfield. Constantine going right. Is eventually swarmed and tackled.
Tackled by Mike Janis.
Tackled by Mike Janis.
Janis is a good tackle. He got his feet to the ball carrier, wrapped him up. You'll see him here, number 5 right there. Does good reading off the speed, fights off the block. 2 blocks, actually. There's a good wrap up.
Gain of 1 on the play for Considine. One of the few times you can stop for less than 5 or 6. 2nd and 9. Reverse to Mayline. This has been successful all night long. This time, snipped out and stopped after a small gain. Noah Maisley on the defense.
You know, hardly anyone has stood out for St. Joe on defense, but this is the only guy that seems to be really playing is Maisley. I mean, I've seen him make some plays at least. It doesn't seem like anyone else is, but he is. Watch him come up here, and he's going to fill in and make a nice play pursuing down the line.
Good hustle on that play. He didn't give up, and eventually when the cutback was made, he was there to greet him. 3rd down and 6. Fake handoff, and now it's given to Considine, and Considine will pick up the 1st down, yet another 1st down for Byron. And Considine, who was a little bit dinged up in the 1st half, is slow to get up off the turf.
1st down for Byron.
Well, he's had some injury problems during the year, I think, which we talked about before, and hopefully this isn't coming back at this point of the game.
And he is holding his knee.
And you watch, he's going to explode through the hole, but right at the end, he's going to take a shot, I think, on that knee from the defensive back. It's kind of hard to tell right there. Maybe they hit knee to knee on that one.
Well, another 1st down for Byron. That's now their 25th 1st down of the ball game. We mentioned the fact that they had the record for the most rushing 1st downs. Well, let's not be specific. They now hold the record for the most 1st downs. Anyway, rushing, passing, just total 1st downs. They now have the record. They broke the record set by Kankakee McNamara. The old record is 24, has now been broken. So congratulations to the folks from Byron. 25 total 1st downs for the Tigers. Considine up on his feet and off the side of the field. Doesn't look like things are too bad. There are the numbers. 16 in the 1st half, 9 1st downs already in the 2nd. Total of 25. 1st down and 10. Handoff right up the gut, and Cotter runs up inside the 10-yard line. Cotter just battering folks right now.
I feel sorry for Wirtz and Hill. This is almost like a tackling drill for these guys. I mean, they're just blowing holes through the defensive front of St. Joe, left and right. Nice block by the center O'Neal. Just a big gaping hole, and those poor DBs. Look at Wirtz. They're laying there like, oh, not again.
Wirtz and Hill, the 2 safeties, have combined for 30 tackles on the ball game, unofficially. That's a lot of work out of your safety. Cotter up the middle, fighting, still on his feet. The whistle blows when about 8 guys are on top of him. To put that in perspective, the 2 safeties combined for 30 tackles, while on the defense for Byron, their safeties have combined for 5 tackles, 3 for Boyer and 2 for Considine. So runners aren't even getting that far for the Spartans.
You know, it's too bad you can't harness what's inside Cotter and put it in a guy that's like 6'2", 235. This guy is a maniac on the field on both sides of the ball. I mean, he just runs tough. He's physical. He challenges people. He has tremendous heart. And, I mean, it's unfortunate he's only 5'11", 195 pounds.
Well, the clock is stopped with 33 seconds remaining. Not exactly sure why. Oh, it's an equipment timeout. That's a lot of shoelaces there. That's the length of my belt. 34-0. Byron on top of the Spartans at St. Joe-Ogden. Ball on the 3-yard line. 2nd and goal on the 3. Chance to go up by 40 or more for the Tigers. Boyer fakes the handoff, looks to the end zone. The pass incomplete in between 2 of the receivers. And that'll stop the clock with 11 seconds remaining in the 3rd period.
I was kind of shocked they threw. The way they've been running the football, I was shocked they threw on, 2nd and short.
3rd down and goal at the 3-yard line.
Maybe they're trying to get Boyer some stats or something. I don't know. But they've been just running at will. I'm shocked they threw that ball.
Needless to say, deception has not been necessary for Byron. 3rd and goal from the 3. Hand off to Cotter, and Cotter scores his 4th touchdown of the game. It is now 40-0, and Cotter has set a new Class 3A record for points scored in a championship game.
And
Cotter wants more. He's going to take off the shoe and go for the point after touchdown.
Unbelievable. Just straight power right up the middle. You're looking at a team that's defeated mentally defensively.
Cotter will attempt the extra point kick.
I mean, guys not getting to the ball. I mean, it's been that way the whole game. After that first series, anyway, in the first half.
The point after touchdown is good, and that makes it a 41-0 ball game. 4 rushing touchdowns for Cotter to go along with the 5 extra points that he has converted. Add it all together. Got to do it fairly quickly. 24 plus 5, 29 points for Mark Cotter, a new state championship game record in Class 3A. 8 seconds remaining in this third period. Well, we mentioned it, Al. Once you get up 40 points in any class of football here in Illinois, it's a running clock until the point spread gets below 40.
You know, and it should be. I mean, you know, a lot of times during the season, especially when you're playing against teams that are overmatched, you might have some teams that are really bad during the season. You know, you don't want a team to get embarrassed and someone score 100 points on them. You know, I mean, when a team establishes that kind of dominance, you can pretty much tell the other team is not going to come back.
Al, let me correct myself. Once your team is up 40 points or more, no matter how much the other teams can close the gap, the clock continues to run continuously no matter what. So I stand corrected. Kickoff, fielded. And a squiggly return right there by the Spartans. Eventually the tackle is made, and that will do it for the third period of play. We have 12 minutes remaining in this ball game. The title game of Class 3A. So far, it's all Byron. 41-0 over St. Joe-Ogden. Now just 12 minutes remaining in the Class 3A championship. Byron all over St. Joe-Ogden, 41-0. As we get ready to start the fourth period of play, it'll be first down and 10 for the Spartans. Ball on the 27-yard line. Eric Collins and Al Harris joining you behind the microphones.
You know, we talk so much about the offensive dominance of Byron. The defense has been dominating as well, holding a top scoring offense from St. Joe basically to nothing.
First down and 10, and a pass is broken up. Good defensive play. That's Matt Malon breaking up the pass.
Broken up by Matt Malone.
Pass was intended for Brady Smith. After 3 quarters, the numbers, they resemble a scoreboard. Kind of a one-sided edge right there. 24 more first downs does Byron have. The rushing yards, my math isn't that, I think they're up, that's about 17 times more. Total yards, 473 to 49. Second and 10, and the play is stopped. Just so you're kept abreast, folks, if you're looking at these time in the upper left-hand corner, that time will not stop except for official timeout.
Dead ball.
Injuries.
Ball start against the offense.
Repeat. It will be a running clock.
Down.
So the penalty is against the Spartans. That will put them back some. Fox Sports Net's exclusive coverage of the IHSA Football Championships continues tomorrow morning with the Class 4A game between undefeated Joliet Catholic and Metamora. Kickoff is tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. only right here on Fox Sports Net. Second and 15 after the penalty. Ball on the 22. Late handoff. Royce running straight up the gut, and he is stopped.
You know, rarely you see a team where everything's going right and the other team, everything's going wrong. I mean, even you think about St. Joe on that one play, they had a chance to get a touchdown, you know, right at the beginning of the third quarter. You know, they fumbled the football right after they have a nice run. You know, you come out here, you know, you get penalized. It just seems like nothing is going right for St. Joe, but everything is going right for Byron. And they've earned it. They haven't backed into this. They hasn't been lucky. They've just dominated.
Third down and 11. Back to pass. McKinney fires out to Brady Smith, and just out of his reach. And that'll bring up fourth down. Looks like they're going to bring on the punting team. Well, we're talking about the defense that Byron has. Believe it or not, beginning of the year, they were shaky. They allowed 42 points to Stillman Valley, who was a good club. In the very first game. The second game they played, they allowed 19. After that, they really kind of got things in shape.
And you see, even here, if things go well for them, they got a guy wide open, and the quarterback overthrows the football. This is their day. This is Byron's day.
4th and 11, and they will indeed punt. Jason Aschenbrenner is on. It's a low liner. A fair catch is called for and made. Ball will be marked. The Spartan into the field. Good catch there made by Dallas Rath.
22-yard punt.
22-yard punt for Aschenbrenner.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line by Byron.
First down at 10. Still in the game at quarterback is Jeff Boyer. Cotter has already scored 4 touchdowns. He is still in the ball game. He gets the carry. Cotter with those 4 touchdowns has set a Class 3A state championship game record, breaking the tie of 3 touchdowns in a game held by many men.
Massive substitution there, taking the first-team offensive out for Byron.
Mark Cotter getting a big hug on the sideline after a job well done. 4 touchdowns, an interception, 5-point after touchdowns. He has had a wonderful championship game. We have a new quarterback in the ball game. It is Riley O'Grady. Riley O'Grady hands off to Patrick Hughes, the new fullback. A senior, 5'8", 179 pounds. He rumbles, picks up some yardage. His name is now etched permanently in the state championship record book. Riley O'Grady, the quarterback, is a junior. More than likely, he will replace Jeff Boyer next year behind the helm for his senior season. 3rd and 3. Handoff. And met at the line and stuck is Dallas Rath.
Maisley coming up there, number 24. He's the one guy I told you on their defense. At least he's coming to play. He's not going to quit. They're down 41-0, and he still brings it.
Now, we haven't seen a punt so far from Byron, and it doesn't look like we will here.
I have a feeling they won't.
They're going to go forward on 4th and 3 from the 40-yard line. O'Grady behind center. A quick handoff up the middle. I don't know if they got it.
Yeah, I think he might have tunneled his way underneath, burrowed his way for the first.
That was Hughes again.
Looks like he might have. Well, we'll see where the spot.
Are they going to measure? Yes, they're going to measure.
This will be close.
This is an official timeout, so this is one of the few times that the clock will stop. We're stopped at 6:43 remaining in the ballgame. One of the big keys this year for Byron was after having a couple of games at the beginning of the season when they let up a lot of points, was they moved around a lot of guys on the defense. It is going to be short, and so they will have to switch over the ball. A timeout will be called, and we're going to take that timeout with them. 41-0, Byron on top of St. Joe-Ogden, 6:43 remaining. We are back, folks. The clock is running. Sorry we missed one play. An outside run by Brian Royce. A gain of about 15. So 1st and 10, a run right up the gut.
That shows you how bad things are going for St. Joe. The biggest, best play they have, we're on commercial. They kind of went and did quick no huddle there.
Now, I know that Byron doesn't want to be bloodthirsty or greedy or bad sports, but I'd imagine they want to pitch this shutout. So they're not going to bend over. They're not going to just roll over and die and let the Spartans score. So it's still going to be tough going. Brian Royce is still in the ball game, the big stud for the Spartans, and he's got running room, swirling out of defenders' arms, eventually tackled inside the 35-yard line. A good, hard run by Brian Royce.
Nice, so they had to
picking up the first
finally are getting some running room here. Obviously, they're running against primarily the second team of Byron, and big Jordan Lawhead pulls around there, number 75. See the big fella? You can't miss him. He just steamrolls the defender there. And some good running by Royce.
A first down for the Spartans. Less than 5 minutes remaining in the ball game. First down and 10. Roll up by the quarterback, McKinney. McKinney looking to run. Cutting it back. Good gain. And and he is tackled
McKinney, the ball
at
carrier.
the 26-yard line.
Tackled by Ryan Miller.
Tackle made by Andrew Moore, big 6'5", 185-pound senior for Byron.
Well, I've been on the other side of this before. You know, when I was the Bears, we lost to the 49ers, I think exactly by the score 41-0 on Monday Night Football.
Oh, man.
So I know you at least want to get some points on the board, say you didn't get goose egg.
2nd and 2, hand off to Royce. Royce cuts back, showing those good feet that he has, and bounces his way towards the first down. Mike Ditka, did he care very much for that 41-0 pacing?
Oh, you know what made it worse? We got snowed in because it snowed in Chicago, so we had to have a meeting the next morning in the hotel. That was brutal. It was real bad. I mean, he chewed us up and down, and we deserved it.
That wasn't the game with the gum with Ditka, was it?
Yes, it was.
I remember he threw some
I'm
gum
pretty
into
sure
the
it
stands. Or, I believe it was at Candlestick Park.
It pretty was. We needed some gum on our hands. They were running right through us that game.
Well, a lot of guys did that. Joe Montana, Jerry Rice. Less than 4 minutes remaining. First down at 10. Handoff goes to Royce. Royce.
Oh, nice move, Royce.
Good run. Finally, things are starting to come together for the Spartans. Royce brings it down inside the 10-yard line.
Byron keeps rotating or subbing guys in. You wonder if they're going to start sneaking that first unit back in there somehow, or some of the players. Royce on a quick pitch. Just look for some running room. Getting behind his blockers. He does a great job of setting up, and he'll make the first guy miss normally, as you saw right there.
2nd down and 2. Royce. Off right tackle. Punches his way for another first down. This is by far the best offense they've shown all evening long. They are now inside the 5-yard line.
They got 2:38 left. Keep themselves from getting goose eggs in this one. Have a good chance.
First down and goal from the 4-yard line. Ryan Royce, 71 rushing yards in the ball game. Season average about 60 more than that. Most of those yards have come on this drive. And now to cap it off, he gets 6. A touchdown is scored by Brian Royce, and the Spartans are on the board. They have something to cheer about. It is now 41-6. So a little bit of gut check time and resiliency for the Spartans. They wanted to get off the snide, and they do so.
Well, finally they get it in there. They get some push off the line. Royce just burrows his way through there. Behind the big fellow, Lawhead. Good push there.
Yeah, when push came to shove, Al, it really seemed like on this drive at least that they really rode the big horse. They went right behind the right tackle, Jordan Lawhead. Is that something that they could have thought about doing a while ago?
I have a feeling there were different defenders in there too. They had a lot of the second-team defenders they ran against, because I'm telling you what, that defense of Byron is like they took a personal front. Like, hey, is this just our offense? It's like they took it like, is this just our offense against their defense? I mean, you see that happen a lot of times. I mean, some teams, you know, they have a very good defense, and, you know, and they don't get noticed because of their offense being so great. So they come and step to the forefront, especially when they're playing against another team who's known for their great defense.
Timeout on the field right now as we get ready to have the conversion. There you're seeing Dick Duval, longtime head coach for the Spartans.
And he's done a fine job. I mean, he's brought him up the third day, and you know this hurts him to the bone. I mean, you know this hurts. He's going to think about this for a long time after this game's over.
13-0, nothing to sneeze at on that record. That's Matt McKinney going around in, and he will score the touchdown. A good, strong run right there. So the two-point conversion is good. It is now 41-8.
2:16 remaining in the Class 3A state championship game. It's Byron 41.
Well, McKinney looks like a little high hurdler here. He's just going to come around the side. He sees everybody's going to get ready to pop him, and he's just going to do a hurdle and leap into the end zone. Nice block there by Royce. Those guys are going to blow him up if he didn't jump.
And McKinney playing in his last high school ball game. Good way to end the career. If you're in a state championship game, get the two-point conversion, show that you're not giving up. Guy who's had a wonderful career playing high school football caps it off with points in the final.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you want to get something positive out of it, because obviously he's not going to remember this too much. You know, the pain of this is going to be tough. But, you know, they have nothing to be ashamed of. Going 13-0, their first year from the 2A to the 3A. I mean, they've done a fine job. They just ran against a juggernaut. You know, I was thinking about this earlier. You think about Byron, they're the Tigers. This reminds me of last year, Wheaton, Warrenville South. They were the Tigers. If I remember straight, they had a paw on their helmet, just like this team does. And, I mean, they dominated Barrington last year, very similar to this game. In the 6A they did. But they did passing. This team doesn't run it.
2:16 remaining in the ball game. 41-8. The onside kick is attempted. And who came up with the football? It is, indeed, the Tigers of Byron. And just to put this in perspective, Al, Byron, truly less than 10 miles away from Stillman Valley, who less than 4 hours ago was crowned the champion. So there'll be a lot of partying going on between here and Rockford this evening.
They might close down the interstate going that direction. But congratulations to Byron. That was well-deserved. I mean, they took this game by the throat and said, this is our game. We're the champions, and they deserve to be crowned the champions the way they played today.
Now the clock is still running. We're down to 1:34 and counting. The give right up the gut. Jake Renicky with the run, his first run of the ball game. The junior will be back next year. Tackle made by Kevin Hill. He now has 16 tackles on the year. And look at that.
Job. They're setting the coach up.
And Harry Carson looking for Bill Parcells.
Hey, look at that. See that bucket, that little orange bucket laying there? Considine, he's ready for the coach.
And up the gut. That is the 64th rushing attempt of the game. That's a new state record.
Here it comes.
Breaking the record of Geneseo Darnell back in 1976. So they're getting it done on the ground, and they don't really need to pass too much, even though they have been able to pass when they wanted to. At Mayliner, the touchdown reception to end off the first half.
You notice he's holding that bucket. Two seniors, Considine and Malone.
They're not going to get punished for it. First down and 10. The run goes nowhere. Here it is. That's a good 60th birthday present. A state championship win and a bucket of cold ice water. What else could a man want?
You know every coach around here hates Harry Carson.
And
Carson and the Giants started that a few years ago. And Bill Parcells, ever since then, high school, college, and pro, the coaches have got the ceremonial ice bucket.
And that's going to do it. The clock runs out on the Spartans of St. Joe-Ogden, and the Byron Tigers are state champions of Class 3A. Congratulations to Coach Stein.
The award ceremony.
Wonderful job by Byron. One of the most dominating performances that you'll see anywhere in any level. 1, 2, all the way up to 6.
Here you're looking at one of the offensive stars, Sean Considine, running so well, approaching 200 yards on the evening. His backfield mate, Mark Cotter, was wonderful as well. The final score, Byron 41, St. Joseph-Ogden 8 points. A 33-point win. Just all over. Domination by Byron. They showed it during the regular season. They've done it in the playoffs. Now they get it done in the championship game. Offense, defense, special teams. Truly, they're just the class of 3A.
99 championship game, a great success it has been.
Folks, we're going to keep it right here. We will have plenty of post-game action. We're going to go down on the field and talk things over with both coaches. Get the thoughts and reactions from the folks from Byron. Talk about the state championship season. Mitch Robinson, who knows Coach Stein fairly well, will try and get some first words with him and talk to him about birthday number 60 and championship number 1. Should be fun.
What a birthday present.
Exactly. He waited 33 years as head coach of the Tigers, but finally his team gets it done. He flat out said it earlier this week. This is the best team I've ever coached. This is the best team I've ever seen play. And they went out and they backed up their coach's word.
Could you imagine you went into coaching and all of a sudden it's like, you say, hey, I want to win the championship, God. God says, okay, wait till you're 60. And finally he wins it on his 60th birthday.
There he is on top of his players. And folks, let's put this in perspective. It hasn't all been peaches and cream. As recently as 1991 for Everett Stein, his team went 0-9. They were winless throughout the entire 91 campaign. He suffered through another winless season in 1980. They were 0-8. Finally turned it around. And this year, the combination of a lot of hard work has paid off in a 14-0 undefeated state championship season. Mitch Roberts down in the field. Mitch, take it away.
All right, sorry, we're down here with Coach Everett Stein. 33 years you wait to get lifted up on the shoulders like that. How's it feel?
It feels great, an unbelievable feeling. You know, this is a tremendous group of kids, and they set a goal at the beginning like most teams do, but they're very, very special.
You know, we pointed out during the game, not only are they great talent on the field as well as academically off the field, how proud are you of how well all-around students these kids are?
They're well-rounded kids. I was proud of their academic achievements, and they're just great kids to be around. They're just unbelievable. That's all I can say.
You think you got one more in you next year?
Oh, yeah.
All right, congratulations, Coach Stein. Let me bring in one of the stars. Let's bring in the quarterback. Let me talk to you, Mr. Boyer. First time, I think the hardest hit you took all night was trying to bring down Royce in the fourth quarter down the sideline there on that run.
Yeah, that hurt a little bit. I got up a little bit slow, but that was all right.
You got there, the beginning of the season, you have a tough game against Stillman Valley, and then it looks like you roll the rest of the way. Did you ever think it would come to this?
Yeah, we had a gut feeling that we could be down here, but we had to work at it, and we did, and we reached our goal.
All the records you guys set tonight, were you aware of, was it setting in as you were playing, how well you were doing?
Well, we heard that we needed 39 points, I think, and when we got 41, we all knew that we set the record, and it was a pretty good feeling.
Congratulations on the state title. Let me borrow 1 second, Sean, I need you right here. Sean Considine, all-stater. Sean, incredible performance, not only for the team, but for you personally.
Yeah, I mean, we just came into this game. We knew it was going to be a tough one, so we had to really try our hardest tonight. And I mean, both teams came out, and at the beginning it was really close, 7-0, long into the fourth quarter, and then we kind of pulled away. But I mean, I give them a lot of credit. It was tough. I mean, I'm really sore already.
Talk to me about this game. What was it that made it so special and so good together as a unit?
Because we've always wanted this. We've wanted this since I can remember, and it's Coach Stein's first time being here. It's Byron's first time being here, so it just meant a lot to everybody.
So now you and Stillman Valley both going to have a big party tonight.
I don't know about that, but I'm sure there's going to be a party somewhere.
Always a rivalry. Congratulations, Sean. Good job tonight. All right, guys, back up to you.
Mitch has been doing an absolutely wonderful job all day long. Mitch has a close relationship with a lot of these guys. Mitch, for years, one of the leading sports anchors in Rockford, so he has a vested interest in what those guys are doing. So congratulations to the Byron Tigers for winning their first state championship ever by a decisive score of 41-0. We're going to take a quick break. We'll have much more in the postgame show. Stick around to Fox Sports Net. Down on the field. There it is, what he's wanted for 33 years. Coach Everett Stein getting that medallion around his head. A state champion. After 33 years of coaching, he wins the state championship game by 33 points out. Just domination from front to start.
It was, but let's think about that first of all. 33 years. You're talking about perseverance. This guy went a long time waiting and waiting. He had some bad years, and he's had some good years, and finally he gets that well-deserved state championship. A lot of guys are saying, you know, forget it. But here they are, they're celebrating. Look at them.
I talked to Dick Duval, the head coach of St. Joe-Ogden. He said, for me to coach 33 years in one place wouldn't happen. I've probably been fired 5 times by that time. People were out there welcome. People just decided to do other things. But Coach Stein, the focus, the single-mindedness, the dedication to the school of Byron, the community, and folks, he's reaping all the benefits right now of a job well done and a career well spent. Mitch Robinson's down on the field. Mitch, what do you have for us?
Thanks a lot, Eric. Here with the player of the game, Mark Cotter. And, man, I have not seen domination like that in a long time. When you got on the cleats for the first time tonight, did you know you'd be on that well?
We've been executing well these last few weeks, and our offensive line just took over the game. They pretty much manhandled their defensive line and opened big holes for me and Sean.
Among the records set tonight, you set the individual scoring record in a 3A state championship. How'd that feel?
I had no idea until I first learned something. It's great. It's a great way to go out. I can't express how I feel right now.
In all the years you grew up in Byron, you've watched Byron play, this has got to be the most dominant team you've ever been a part of.
It's a pretty dominant team. It's kind of neat. We could all
play the 94 team and just see how good we both were, but it's a great way to go out.
Congratulations, Mark, on the state championship. Wonderful job tonight. Way to go. Eric, Al, back to you.
Well, thanks a lot, Mitch. And Al, when you talk about teams, you're trying to compare teams from 1994. That was the year that Everett-Stein had another good team that went far. So look at some of the final numbers from Mark Cotter, 142 yards rushing. Seems like he had a heck of a lot more than that. Difficult to compare teams, but truly, it's going to take a long time before another team in Class 3A comes down here and dominates the championship game the way that Byron did tonight.
3A in almost any division. I mean, the way they did it physically, you saw Cotter there, well-deserved player of the game. He didn't have as many yards as Considine, but he was the guy that really set the pace for the whole game. He comes with the interception at the beginning of the game and his physical dominance, just running through players. It just sends a very negative signal to the defense. I know, being on that side now, seeing a guy just physically handle you, it's like, you know, you feel like you're getting beat up and there's nothing you can do about it.
Al, I think they're going to have to add a new page to the IHSA record book. These are all 3A state championship game records. Most rushing first downs by a team, 25. The record for most total first downs, 27. Most points by an individual, that goes to Mark Cotter, who had 30 points. Most rushing touchdowns by an individual, Mark Cotter, who we just talked to, he had 4 TDs on the ground. Byron ties the state record for 7 total touchdowns in a game, leading to their 41 points. They have the state record for rushing attempts. Byron with 64, they broke the record, and Byron, they allowed only 34 offensive plays. That beats the old record of 35. So truly, top to bottom, offense and defense, they had it all going. And truly, they really didn't mean to like blow out the score right now. They just couldn't help themselves.
Oh, I mean, in their defense, we can't forget about their defense. I mean, in the first half, they held St. Joe to 2 yards. 2 yards. You're talking about a running game that they had. They held them to 2 yards total offense. That was just as dominating as our offense did what they've done today. I actually think.
Let's take a look at it again. We do have some highlights for you here of what we just saw. And Al, walk us through exactly how they got it done.
Well, you got Mark Cotter here. I mean, his physical presence the whole time just blowing through. And see the line? Look at those big gaping holes. You know, he gave a lot of credit to his offensive line. They were just moving people. And that was the one thing Duvall was concerned about, was the physical presence of the offensive defensive lines of Byron. And he really took advantage of it. And Moline, he does a great job of adjusting to the ball there. And he ran reverses very successfully, averaged, I think, over 10 yards a carry on reverses. And there's a pitch here. There's no one on the outside. It looks like they're missing a guy. It looks like they're playing with 10 guys.
Here's Cotter again scoring his 4th touchdown of the ball game. And really the only bright spot of the ball game for the Spartans is St. Joe-Ogden right there with just a couple of minutes remaining. Brian Royce punches it in for the touchdown. And then Matt McKinney finishes off his high school career by getting the 2-point conversion. So a little bit of pride regained there by St. Joe-Ogden. And really, they should have a lot of pride because they did have a solid season. Let's take a look at the final numbers as we see them on the screen.
I mean, phenomenal domination. You know, I mean, almost like 4-1 there if you look at it. Rushing yards, just they speak for themselves. If you look at them, total yards, time of possession. I mean, that's just total dominance on both sides of the football. See, we're not just talking about the offense dominated. Defensively, they shut St. Joe down.
We've seen some good football so far today. Al, you and I have done 2 games, the Class 1A final and the Class 3A final. 2 teams getting it done on the ground. It really speaks volumes for a good running team, how great they can be in the postseason. We will finish off with more thoughts in just a couple of moments. You're taking one last look at the Byron Tigers as they remain on the field. We'll come back with some closing thoughts in just a moment. Stick around to Fox Sports Net. We're back here at Memorial Stadium, the final of 3 games here on Fox Sports Net this afternoon and early evening. The Byron Tigers just going into the locker room victorious by 33 points, 41-8 over the St. Joseph-Ogden Spartans. And Al, when you go into that locker room, obviously a lot of down faces for the Spartans, but really, what do you say if you're their coach and you're going in there and talking to a team that just kind of got lost and had their meal handed to them?
Well, you know, you remind them basically and say, guys, you know, you had a great season this year, 13-0 up to this game. You played a great team, one of the most dominant teams that you'll probably play in a long, long time. And, you know, we just ran against a better team today, but, you know, keep your heads up. you know, let's look forward to next season and just think about it and go back through that year and meditate on those positive moments.
And we talk about the Spartans making that jump up from 2A. They thought they're going to be in the 2A playoffs, and how there's a difference between 3A and 2A, but let's put it in perspective. They ran the table to get to the state finals, so they did play some tough 3A teams to get here, and they were 13-0 coming into this ballgame.
And, you know, it was the first time for them coming in here, too, and sometimes you can have some jitters, especially again playing against an explosive team like that. Running the wing tee, something you don't see all the time. You know, they look like they just didn't know their assignments most of the time, and I'm sure the coaches coached them well, but sometimes when you're out there and the bullets are firing, you can't do anything about it.
Once again, the Byron Tigers victorious over the St. Joseph-Ogden Spartans. For Al Harris and Mitch Robinson and everyone here in Champaign, I'm Eric Collins saying so long till next time. Come back at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning when Joliet Catholic takes on Metamora in the Class 4A championship game. Once again, the Tigers of Byron win the state championship. Good night, everybody.